On the banks of the River Windrush in the county of Oxfordshire lies the picturesque ruins of Minster Lovell Hall. And although there has been a manor house on this site since at least the 12th century, the ruins that can be seen here today date from the hall's later life in the mid-15th century. At the time of King William, Duke of Normandy's Great Survey in the year 1086, the manor of Minster was already well established, with it being said to have had 29 households and 2 mills. The manor's prosperity continued into the next century, with the land being of sufficient value as to have been used as a reward given by King Henry I to one of his barons. The baron in question was called William, whose nickname was Lepellus, or Little Wolf, with the name changing over time to Lovell and then to Lovell, and becoming by the 13th century the name of not only William's descendants but of the manor itself. The ruins that can be seen here today are those of the buildings constructed in the 1430s by William, 7th Baron of Lovell and 4th Baron of Holand, some 300 years after the time of William the Little Wolf. William, Baron of Lovell and Holand, was a loyal supporter of the crown and fought in France during the Lancastrian War. And through marriage and good fortune, William would become one of the richest men in England, with displays of that wealth including the building of Minster Lovell Hall. On William's death in 1454, the hall passed to his son John, the 8th Baron of Lovell and 5th Baron Holand. Like his father, John was a loyal servant of the crown and a prominent Lancastrian, and through his service to the crown, John was rewarded by King Henry VI with the position of Master Forester for the neighbouring royal forest of Wychwood, a trusted and privileged position that was not without its perks for the incumbent. Yet by contrast, John's son Francis, the 9th Baron of Lovell and 6th Baron of Holand, rejected the Lancastrian cause and chose to side with the House of York. For himself, Francis chose wisely and became a favourite of King Richard III, so much so that the king elevated Francis to the rank of Viscount. By 1484, King Richard's favours to his favourites had not gone unnoticed, with Francis being lampooned alongside 2 other of the king's favourites, William Catesby and Richard Ratcliffe, in this rhyme by a supporter of the king's Tudor rival, William Collingbourne. The cat, the rat and love-a-lad dog ruleth all England under a hog. Despite King Richard's livery badge indeed being a hog, a white boar in fact, the king was not taken with the rhyme, and its writer, William Collingbourne, was put on trial. The outcome of the trial was never in doubt, partly due to Collingbourne being a supporter of the king's rival, Henry Tudor, and partly due to the king bringing the prosecution. And to make sure of a satisfactory outcome for King Richard, the Viscount Francis Lovell would be sitting on the trial. The following year saw a decisive moment in the War of the Roses, with Henry Tudor defeating and killing King Richard at the Battle of Bosworth Field. And although the crown had now been lost to Henry and the Lovell's lands seized, Francis Lovell continued the fight for a further 2 years, eventually disappearing following the Yorkists' final defeat at the Battle of Stoke Field in 1487.